Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a little bit different. I just want to talk about 3 ways you can reduce your carbon footprint in your everyday life. It's something that I've been trying to work on over the last couple of weeks. Having finished the ride, I've been back a while and sort of missing that purpose that I used to have for a long time on the ride, and really finding some purpose in living again. And I'm environmentally minded. I always have been, and I really want to make an effort in my life to reduce the impact that I have on the environment. The environment that I'm in right now, it's really important to me that these areas and in general, we're doing our bit in order to reduce our impact on the environment. And small actions might seem sort of ineffective, but it really does give you a sense of purpose, that you are doing the right thing. You are going about your life in a way that's not impacting or less impactful on the rest of the world. So let's get stuck in, shall we? I've got my trusty notebook here. The first way I'm trying to reduce my impact is by looking at my commute to work. I do it 5 days a week. And cars guzzle fuel, as you know, and been having a look at the emission side of one person driving by themselves to work 5 days a week. There's a website called the Green Vehicle Guide. It's an Australian government website, seems pretty legit. And I looked at the car that I have. It's a pretty big car, and per kilometre driven, that car produces 300 grams of carbon dioxide. So what does this mean? It's about 15 k's for me to get to work, which works out to just over 8 kilos of carbon dioxide being emitted by me driving all the way to and from work, which works out to about 2,100 kilos a year, which I don't really know how much that is. I imagine on the grand scheme of things it's not that much. However, how can I reduce that? And the first thing I can do is what I've started to do, is to drive to the station. It's 5 k's to the train station near me, and I've been getting the train to work. I live in Dural here, and we have the metro station, the new train line here in Sydney, and apparently all of its operational costs are, hold on, that's my watch. All the operational emissions, electricity wise, all come from a solar power farm in New South Wales. So effectively, by travelling on the metro, it's carbon neutral in my eyes. Obviously there's other costs associated with running the lights, running escalators and all that stuff, but the actual movement of the train is all generated from solar energy, which is really cool. So if I do that for 1 year, I can save 1,300 kilos of carbon dioxide a year, which is a pretty big, to me at least, it's a really big reduction. The station is also only 5 k's, and I really need to get into the habit of cycling there. Obviously then that's completely carbon neutral. I won't be producing any carbon other than me probably out of breath, not as fit as I was when I got back from the ride. So yeah, that's the first way. Is looking at your commute, seeing whether you can use public transport where possible. Walking or cycling can make an impact on your emissions, on your carbon footprint. The second way is a bit more of a contentious topic at the moment with diet. There's lots of talk around veganism, vegetarianism, what's good, what's bad, ketogenic, low carb, you name it, someone's got an opinion on it. There was, however, in 2014, a research paper got published, so this is old news, 5 years ago, And the title was Dietary Greenhouse Gas Emissions of Meat Eaters, Fish Eaters, Vegetarians and Vegans in the UK. This was published in the Climatic Change Journal. I'll put a link. I won't deep dive into their methods and how they figured it all out. I'll pop that in the link below. But fundamentally, they worked out per day how much carbon dioxide equivalent, so this includes methane and nitrous oxide, bulked in together. And as you might expect, high meat eaters had the highest amount of CO2 produced per day at just over 7 kilos per day. Interestingly as well, they deemed high meat eaters or heavy meat eaters to eat more than 100 grams a day. Now 100 grams, if you are a meat eater, is probably not that much. I imagine that the majority of people who do regularly eat meat eat way over 100. So the next category down was 5 to 100 grams. They produce 5.63 kilos of carbon dioxide a day. The next group down is less than 50 grams of meat per day at 4.67. Below that is fish and vegetarianism, both producing around 3.8, 3.9 per day carbon dioxide. And then the lowest, the minimal impact you can have on the environment is by adopting a vegan diet at 2.89 kilometers. No, we're not driving, we're eating. Kilograms per day. 2.89. This was worked out for a standard diet of 2,000 calories. And so basically, high meat eaters versus veganism, you produce two and a half times more carbon dioxide per day by eating a heavily meat-filled diet. You might not want to adopt full veganism. That's not the point. The point is you can do things, make small changes, eat more plants, eat less fish, eat less meat, eat fish if you want. I'm rambling a little here, but even if you don't agree with veganism, you can still eat fish, you can still be a vegetarian, and you can reduce your impact on the environment at the same time. So per year, if you're in that high meat category, you reduce yourself to the low meat category, you'd save 920 kilos per year of carbon dioxide. If you adopt a vegetarian diet, you'll save 1,200 kilos entering the atmosphere in a year, and if you adopted a full vegan diet, you'd save about 1,500 kilos of carbon dioxide. There's pretty substantial figures. If you can use these alongside with your commute, then obviously you're going to be, building and saving more carbon from entering the environment. And on to the third, which is reducing your food waste. Now, 8.2 million tons of food waste enter landfill a year here in Australia. So the camera just shut off there. I think I was talking about food waste. So what am I doing at home to reduce my food waste, to reduce it going to landfill? Obviously, you don't need to reduce your food waste, you need to reduce how much is going to landfill. I went out and bought a worm farm from Aldi actually, but they do sell them at Bunnings. It costs about $100 to set up and get the worms. And basically we just feed it any food scraps we get from the house, blend it up for them, chuck it in there, and they'll eat all that, and they basically, you get left with a liquid, nutrient-rich liquid, which then you can put onto your garden as well, which is the second point of this food waste issue, is to grow your own food as well. At home we're growing some tomatoes, some kale, carrots, beans, you name it, we're trying to grow as much as we can, and we can't grow enough to completely, so you don't have to rely on going to supermarkets and other things, but we're doing what we can with the space we've got here, which is awesome. I'm really loving that. There's also a farm near me, a biodynamic / organic farm, and so they grow locally out here in Sydney, and so I can just pop in and I know that the food I'm getting is locally produced, which means there's no food miles attached to what I'm eating, which is another way you can reduce your impact, is by looking into where you're buying your food, where your fresh fruit and veggies are coming from, whether they're being grown in Australia. And obviously if you're growing your own food as well, you don't have to worry about if anything's been sprayed on it, if it's genetically modified, all these queries and questions that people have about what their food is. So those are the 3 ways that I'm trying to reduce my footprint. It's definitely a work in progress. I think there's a lot of things, particularly my diet, that I'm struggling with and trying to adopt a vegetarian diet at the moment. How that progresses, I'm not sure. But the point of this is you can make small changes in your day-to-day that will, over time, make a big enough impact that, and if other people are adopting them, if you're letting people know, you're educating people on how to be more sustainable, then you can make a difference. You really can. I've also felt a sense of purpose again in trying to live a more sustainable lifestyle, try and reduce my impact as much as possible. And as I said, it's incremental, it's slow, building up to various things, and that's the point. Is it's impossible to go out and just completely change your lifestyle, your diet, how you get to and from work. But if you can make small changes and keep building on those small changes every time, by the end of it, you will be living more sustainably. You will have reduced your impact just by implementing these little things into your life, which can build up and make a big difference. So if you've enjoyed this video, or you have any questions or queries, or comment below if there's any topics you'd like to discuss. I do want to start making a few more videos like this, but we'll see. Hopefully I can get some products in. We can review some products as well, and yeah, we'll go through a few things collectively as a group. We'll try move forward and reduce our impact. So if you've enjoyed this video, guys, hit subscribe for more videos like this, and if you want to, share it around, let your friends know. But thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.